Welcome to Can We Be Friends podcast, episode 6. Our special guest today is yet to arrive.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, not to put him on blast, but you know, this is a bit of an impromptu recording. The office we normally record in is made of lava.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are out on the porch today, out on Mike's porch.
Enjoying the nice weather. Enjoying
Yeah,
the sunshine.
honestly,
Birds are chirping. Sky is clear. It's a beautiful day out here. I broke a chair about
Oh, I wish I was recording.
20 minutes ago.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was probably the best best timed actual physical comedy that I've ever seen.
It was some Chevy Chase level shit. I'm
Yeah,
really upset.
the
that we
fan
didn't,
was
like-
almost plugged in.
Yeah.
The table was as the table was, and Mike leans back and crack, 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 all the way down, feet up, kicks over the cord that knocks over there was a coffee mug there.
Yeah.
Knocks over the fan on the table, falls perfectly, hits the mug falls down. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was really perfect. The only thing
I
that
wish
would
I
have
was
been better
recording.
is if there was coffee in there to like spill over
Yeah.
my face as I was on the ground.
Yeah, hot
But
coffee.
no, it was.
I could go for espresso right now.
I can make some. I have an espresso pot. I'm gonna throw a pot on.
No.
It's hot.
It is hot. I'll wait till I get to.
I literally have a stove
Till we
top.
get when we get to. I know
Yeah.
you're fucking wop.
It
I have
was
one of
my
those
great
too.
grandmother's.
A mocha pot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mocha pots are great. I love mocha pots. That's.
Is that what the American word for it is?
I think it's like a Kleenex situation.
Ah, gotcha.
You know, mocha pot's just
like a
one of
brand
them.
a-
Yeah. But yeah, you're going to be hearing all sorts of noises if you're listening to this. And I will be converting all of our episodes to audio files that we can upload as
Hell
like
yeah.
audio podcasts. I think I'm going to use Anchor because
That's what
Anchor
Miles uses,
distributes.
He likes it.
Yeah, to all of them. So, catch you there. We're probably have to make it. That's all inside baseball. But you're going to hear a bunch of noises. But next episode, I should have my recorder. So we'll cut down outside noise because right now I'm using my onboard microphone for those people.
But you can't see. It's
who are
above you.
protection. Yeah, it's a little over your head. You wouldn't get it. But
oh yeah, above you.
it's so you're beneath it actually.
It is physically above the view of the camera. Is
Yes.
what I probably should have said. It's more precise.
So yes, the future episodes will sound a lot clearer. So look forward to that level of production jump. Episode 7 shit. That's like
Yeah.
Now
What are we on right now?
this is episode 6.
Damn. Really?
Yes, episode 6, and that's if you're counting the whole episode like recordings because I split some of them up. If you've noticed on our channels, I split some of the episodes up just because I think an hour chunk is a nice consumable thing. Also, we all have very
Yeah.
bad, not conducive schedules, so it's best to cut things up so that you have a steady enjoyment of our entertainment
Yeah.
as the week progresses. But enough business, enough inside baseball. The sun is out. You can hear the birds chirping.
Yep.
You can feel that breeze on your face, and that means summer in New England, which
And
means
it's like
count your
100
blessings
degrees.
now. Yeah. I immediately think of the first day I break a sweat outside in Connecticut. Ever since I was growing up, it's just in my head. There's a giant hourglass that flips upside down, and it's just counting away the days of good summer. Because there's not that many in New England.
No, because then it starts to get rainy and then like weird and overcast and then all
It's
of a
just
sudden
cold.
it's-
It gets so cold again.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the fall. I've always been like a big summer guy. My birthday's
Yeah.
in the summer, you know, as a kid, like summer's obviously the fucking best season because you don't have school. But like up here, man, I can take it or leave it. I'm like one of those big anti-humidity people. It gives me headaches, makes me fucking
Yeah.
slow. I love dry heat. And it's such a cliched thing to say, I guess, because
Yeah.
but it's true. I mean, I can do 120 in dry heat like all
Yeah.
day.
Well, I mean, I frequent saunas, and I don't like to go to steam baths because I can't take as much of it.
Yeah.
Like, even at like maybe 120, the steam rooms, or even at 100, the steam rooms are unbearable. So I like a nice dry sauna. I can get up to like 180, 185
Yeah.
degrees in no humidity, but it feels good. But that's obviously the extreme. But you can obviously handle more when it's dry. You know, the science podcast that we started. Yeah, but I'm so excited to move to Texas.
Mhm.
It's gonna be such a good idea to move there for the adventure of it, but also like.
Texas is a great spot, man.
Yeah.
Fucking, you can buy a gun without a permit in Texas.
That's to some people very fun. You should.
To me, that's very fun.
Half you will understand.
I told Ray that last week, and he goes, "That's." He we were like, sitting there outside, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm moved by text." And he's like, "Why?" And I was like, "Because you don't need a permit to buy a gun." He just goes, "That's terrifying. It's terrifying." And I was like, "Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think it's great."
It makes me feel a little safer.
Yeah, I'll be protecting the homestead.
Yeah, because
Go shooting.
yeah, they still run background checks on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they still
I got a fake name,
know
I'll be
that you
fine.
have a. Yeah, sure. That's too.
I have no felonies.
Apparently, if you get a medical weed card, you can't get a gun. Which
That
is
is true.
very disappointing.
It is very disappointing. It's kind of bullshit. Like, I mean,
Yeah, because they're like, stop stigmatizing drug addiction, and then meanwhile, it's like, as
Yeah.
part of their gun control, it's stigmatizing.
stigmatizing
use.
drug addiction, stigmatizing mental health. Like,
Yeah,
granted,
or
that
not even
we
drug
should speak-
addiction. It's a weed med card. Like,
Yeah.
if you're a real addict, I'm sure you're not getting the med card, but
Yeah, for real. Who would? Who would put their name on a registry of drug users with the government?
shit.
I don't know
We
why.
do it every day when we get our prescriptions for
Yeah,
whatever
it's true.
psychotropic drugs they've doled out this year.
Those millions of children on Adderall are all on a
Yeah.
database.
Hey, he's different. Medicate him quick
Can
before
you-
he thinks outside the norm.
Can you buy a gun and be on Adderall? Because that seems way more
Probably.
dangerous than buying a gun and being on antidepressants.
Oh man, imagine like Pablo Escasmith or like this. It's like the most like
Me?
no, yeah, no, that's a bad. That doesn't sound good. Pablo Escabari, I don't know.
Escabari.
Escabits, Eskowitz.
Eskowitz, yeah, that Pablo, that's me, Pablo Eskowitz.
Pablo Eskowitz. Boy, my lord.
That's going in the notebook.
Pablo Eskowitz. Yeah, Pablo Eskowitz is like trafficking Adderall at like what's a real freaking
Some community college.
yeah, Pablo Eskowitz at Bunker Hill Community.
Yeah.
Take the orange line to the end. Oh man.
Meet him outside the library after 5 p.m. He's got you.
Yep. Mm. Yeah, I love this heat. I'm starting to appreciate heat more because of how dreadfully annoying the conditions of the cold are to deal with, like
Real.
salting your driveway and shoveling and snow plows and snow blowers and snow everything. And it's beautiful the first time you see it, and like the first time it snows that season, and everything after that is just like, another
Here
fucking
we
6
go.
inches I have to shovel, another 8 inches I
Yeah,
have to shovel.
that's the thing. It's always beautiful when it's coming down, but it's never fun to look at once it's already on the ground and it's the next day, and you
Yep.
gotta fucking deal with it. Just waiting for it to melt, and then you get those residual little snow piles, like
Yeah.
into March and April, just those like
So
little
enough
humps
of
in
that
parking
shit.
lots. Yeah, done.
Texas.
For the next few months, we're riding high, and we
Yes.
got to deal with half the winter, and then we're done with winter for the foreseeable future.
And we'll be starting off Texas when it's the coldest. So we can like
Acclimate.
boil the frog,
Yeah.
as it were, like boil ourselves
Yep.
slowly.
I'm excited for that, man. I'm
Oh
really
yeah.
looking forward to
And
it.
I'm practicing my Texas heat. I'm going in the middle of July, so I'm sure it's gonna be hot as a motherfucker.
Hell
I'll
yeah.
probably be buying hats now because my hair is not long anymore, and I realize a big part of me not being able to wear hats
Mhm.
is my hair was long.
Yes.
So now that my hair is short, I feel like I can just wear like hats like casually.
See, I used to be a
Never
big
a
hat
hat
guy,
guy.
and I'm learning now that I can't wear hats with this hair because it just blows them off. You
You have
know?
a fedora.
No, I'm good. The closest I'll get to like any of those kind of hats is like I have like a couple of like the like wide brimmed, like not like cowboy hats, but like
Sun hats.
sort of. Like I bought one in Amsterdam because it looked cool, and
Just
then I had
say it.
another one that I bought at a fucking CVS when I was
Yes.
in California because I needed the sun.
All right, let's just get to it. It's a
Although
It's a woven rice farm protective hat.
The problem is, as soon as I put on one of those hats, I look like a member of like the Arab Lumineers, and it's not really.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
I have like a beach hat that I like to wear from time to time. It's got a nice. I wear it when I golf.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's not good. It doesn't have good stick, so it's not exactly like a good sporty golf hat. But like
Yeah.
just cruising around, you can put it back in the cart. take
Sometimes I
your
like those
tee
hats
off.
that you gotta kind of hold the brim down
Oh,
while
yeah.
you're moving. You know, like.
Who's calling me?
Cliff.
Oh yeah, why is Cliff calling me?
He's gonna be.
Hey Cliff, what's up? We're on the porch. Yeah, I mean, we're
Sounds
recording
good.
right now. We're just waiting for you to drop in. It's a little impromptu. The office is too hot, so. Yeah, we're doing it outside on the porch. It's a really nice day out, so. drop in the middle. We'll be right here. We'll blow the
on
shit back
through.
up. All right, bet. See you.
See you soon.
Well, if we had a commercial break, this would be a great time to take it. He said he's going to be here in 10 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to get your office supplies from my new company, WB Manson. WB Manson supplies all your office needs
Yes.
for making sure you can catalog all your celebrity victims and such. That's the closest I can get to a commercial. I also have... Never mind.
Today's
I had another
episode is
one.
also brought to you by GLAAD. GLAAD has teamed up with the CIA to recruit some of the finest homosexuals that we have in this country. Trans, queer, questioning, lesbian, gay, two-spirited, asexual, and, of course, furries.
Yep, and
We are recruiting all of the including furries, which we have to state legally because furries aren't a protected class. They're actually a refugee demographic from Japan.
Gage's shirt represents NASA's similar initiative.
Yes, but we are accepting here at GLAAD is working with the CIA to recruit some of our finest queer individuals to steal other countries' intelligence, to destabilize foreign nations for the incentive of increasing capital in a pointless game played with points on the NASDAQ, and so that our investors are happy.
Yeah, and if you think about it this way, if there's ever, we realize that the CIA realizes that it's an expanding world, and by recruiting more LGBTQ people, they expand the honeypot radius of who they're able to sleep with to get information.
Right.
So really, it's in the vast interest of national security that the employees of the CIA are able to fuck as many different people as they possibly can. So
Indeed,
be
Mike.
sure to support your local CIA chapter in getting as much puss and butt puss as they possibly can.
Yes, indeed, and you bring up a good point because the CIA does practice its craft in many nations where being queer is a crime.
So you got to be even more covert. Like those are actually
you
the
can-
best agents.
Yeah, because it provides a much easier blackmailing scheme
Yeah.
for world leaders we want to control.
If you can be gay in Saudi Arabia, do you know what that does for the state of the petrodollar? Fantastic.
Yes.
So like that, we need the CIA for this.
Yes.
Who else? Who else is sponsoring
Oh.
the podcast?
Halliburton.
Yep. Halliburton is a big fan of our podcast. We support nation building in order to gain infrastructure. Also, a sponsor is, United Fruit Company, Dole. They
Yeah.
love us.
Also, check out James Corden's new late night show where he has carpool karaoke with Bibi Netanyahu. And he explains that Hamas is actually just all brown people and that we have all of the right to bomb the Gaza Strip. Again, that is going to be Bibi Netanyahu on carpool karaoke with James Corden singing ABBA.
I thought they were going to do Ebony and Ivory.
Yes. Singing the entire 3.5-hour soundtrack of Fiddler on the Roof with James Corden as a contemporary turn on Fiddler on the Roof is a chimney sweep. It's a Mary Poppins crossover.
What the fuck chimney would James Corden fit in?
I think there's one in Poland. I'm gonna go get some more water and probably cut that out of the
Oh my
podcast.
God. Let me see. On that topic, this podcast is also brought to you by Dr. Mengele's Do-It-Yourself Abortion Kit. If you send away now for just 3 easy payments of $99.95, you will get a coat hanger, a Joni Mitchell CD, and a pint of Ben & Jerry's of your choosing. And you have a nice relaxing weekend to yourself to vacate the old uterus. So make sure to subscribe at the link below for that. They're a great sponsor of the podcast. Big fan of them. What else? Marlboro cigarettes. I can't promote these enough. Big fan. Marlboro cigarettes. Owned by Philip Morris. Owned by Altria. A lot of Shell Corporation working there. But big fan of Big Tobacco. So be sure to support your international big tobacco industry and go buy yourself a pack of smokes today. What else? I'm just doing random ad reads here. Let me see. I don't know. I was thinking today about that whole, oh, look, Gage is back. I don't have to do any more made-up ad reads. I did an ad read for Marlboro and a send-away abortion kit out of a catalog.
Aw, cool.
Yeah.
Mm. What's some stuff you want to talk about?
I don't know. I'm talking about like the lab theory thing a little bit. I want once Cliff gets here, I want to talk comedy stuff.
Yeah, of course.
But
for now, let's talk conspiracy.
Yeah. So, well,
Lab leak
we're not
hypothesis.
conspiracy.
Yes.
Like
To everyone who called Mike a unhinged psychopath, he deserves an apology.
I do, and I actually want an apology direct from Anthony Fauci himself because of his actions, he's directly responsible for the fact that I don't speak to my aunt anymore, and she had a tendency, but it's his fault. It's really his fault. So I want an apology because I was right the whole time, as were all the people that told me to think this, and
Yes, the lab. So what we're talking about, to clarify, everyone who's already forgotten this after the news cycle of 2021 has washed over our collective unconscious, the lab leak hypothesis was up until recently, unentertained conspiracy theory.
It was xenophobic. It was.
Racist.
I literally read an article.
Stop the Asian
Yeah,
hate.
I read an old article in Vox that was like, well, all these people saying this are anti-China, and that's why they're saying it. And then if you look at like what they cited for this letter called the Lancet letter, and the Lancet letter was you can look it up. It's a list of all of these top epidemiologists and virologists who are all saying, no, this did not come out of a lab. We have evidence this was animal-based. We stand with our Chinese scientists and our brothers in science across the world who recognize the fight for the truth and all this bullshit. Turns out that the person that got all those guys together to sign the letter and wrote the letter was this dude, the CEO of the EcoHealth Alliance. And the EcoHealth Alliance was a nonprofit organization that was responsible for funneling $600,000 of taxpayer money directed by the NIH from the taxpayer coffers into this nonprofit, which then took the money and donated it to the Wuhan Institute of Virology to conduct research on bat-based coronaviruses in their lab. And you'll remember there was this lady they called the Chinese bat lady, the hero of the pandemic. This woman has been spending her career early on studying these viruses. She's the one responsible for this gain-of-function research in the labs. And she was like, all these people saying this have no idea what's going on. Why are they there's literally quotes of her, why are they taking away our EcoHealth Alliance grant? This is obscene, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I dare you to find evidence that this is caused by our lab. And then sure enough, here we are. And,
So the lab leak hypothesis is the idea that this lab had leaked the virus as opposed to the alternate narrative that's been being pushed by those who deem themselves more righteous as saying that it was a natural spillover where the virus naturally jumped into human bodies.
Yeah.
But there has been many signs and many scientists who have explained in great detail that the virus exhibits characteristics that would deem it to be from a lab. Much more likely from a lab.
Gain-of-function research.
Yeah.
It leaves traces. One of the things they noticed was how easily and readily it was able to affect humans, and they don't have genetic evidence of the early cases of having a very different DNA code. So basically, what they said is, by the time this got into the population, it was already developed
to enhance.
Specifically the spike protein, it was already built to infiltrate human cells.
Yeah.
And that can't happen in nature. It is impossible for the virus when it's in another animal to mutate to attack humans from within that animal. It needs to make the jump, then multiply within the human, and then evolve within that patient zero to then infiltrate human cells more effectively as it multiplies, generations go on.
Yes.
So what the issue is between that and some other characteristics of the virus itself that they noticed. Brett Weinstein was the first person I heard to say this. He said this in Joe Rogan's podcast in April or May of 2020. But he, one of the things he pointed out was that this research was indicative in the samples from the lab, and that you could tell
because the telomeres.
Yeah, it was basically too perfect.
Yeah.
To because the telomeres.
It was there's the telomeres on the DNA
it's
of
funny
the
how
virus.
everything he talks about is the telomeres.
Well,
he's got that whole other thing with the mice telomeres and
Well, it's because the telomeres of the virus, they were big thick boys. They were long. They were longies. They were big old tellies.
She got some thick telomeres.
Yeah, she's some thicky tells, and so I'm too elevated and happy right now to completely synthesize that information.
Oh.
But
Yeah,
but you know what? It doesn't matter. You know what really matters is that because of someone's pride and fiscal incentive to keep it going, a government official has made it so that I couldn't see movies for a while, and that makes me mad.
And another big thing about this, that like I saw one really fantastic article in the New York Times of all places about this, like the media and big tech's complicity in picking a narrative here and saying you're being anti-science while they themselves are the ones being anti-science by suppressing dissent and other information and questioning, which is
Logic.
it's a part of the scientific method.
Yeah.
Like is to call findings into doubt and sort of like try to make them replicate them and stuff like that, and freely sharing information is a big part of that. And what the media was complicit in doing was saying, no, this is a conspiracy theory. Everyone who says anything about this needs to be censored because we have an infodemic. That's what they started calling it. Is we have an infodemic, misinformation. And what you're never going to hear any of them say is the fact that, like, Donald Trump fucking said this. Like I'm not, I'm not a fucking...
Yeah.
But he said this, he said a lot of bullshit, but he said that. And no one's ever gonna say like, oh yeah, maybe it was bad to just write off everything that came out of his mouth as wrong. Maybe that in and of itself is an informational hypocrisy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like if you can't acknowledge the fact that you don't have all the answers all the time, then you can't be trusted. And that's the problem with like bureaucratic elite. And I hate using buzzwords like that, but that's the problem with entrenched bureaucrats is that they don't answer to anybody and they don't believe they should because they are the experts. And when you get that cult...
I want to sit in on a cabal meeting. I want to sit in on like a cult, like capitalistic, mega billionaire, trillionaire cult collective. I want to sit in on one of those meetings. I want to know that they like crack jokes. Because I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
And they're evil, but they're like...
There's still got to be something.
How much... In order to be part of the crew, right? If you want to be sitting next to Donald Trump and Putin and... Well, I guess maybe even above them, that like corporate overlord, people, unknown trillionaires in Saudi that are like,
this is what
they
we're
go
doing.
unmentioned. But they get to, it's a club, it's a tight club.
Yeah.
And those are the only people, they have literally risen to the power maximus. And so in order to enjoy that power, you got to enjoy it with other people who like understand that feeling. And so there's a small 1,000th of a percentile that gets to be up there. And I imagine they're the best friends that friends could be.
Well, I mean, because you have to be, right? I mean, that's the thing is like you need that level of trust. Otherwise, how do you know that this person's not just going to go spill all the beans about what you did? Because think about it, like if that Saudi businessman has all the money and you fuck him and you don't do what he wants, he can just go out there and drop some information about you. And he's
but at that point,
fine.
it's like war, right? At that point, you have these kingdoms that have learned to love each other because they know if one shows weakness, the others will like scavenge the bones because they've had to get where they... Imagine how many steps it takes to turn from like where you started in life to get all the way up there.
Leader of the free world.
No, I mean,
or like
the
billionaire.
cabal this like trillionaire fucking secret society cabal. It's like
nobody even knows your name. You're not in the news.
And do you get in?
Whoever runs the movie.
Do you get in because you just? I'm talking like IMF, like the World Bank. Do you think that like who's the most like bootstrap kid in that group? Because a lot of them, I'm sure, are born into as a legacy position. It was like royalty. They're born like, Halliburton the third. And so, you're born into it. But like, imagine some kid who just like hustled and like got a CEO startup that like really boomed, like a Zuckerberg type.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it might be Zuck.
If Zucky's there, just at the water cooler talking about pogs and shit, and they're like, "Hey, you want to see this quirky cat video?" And meanwhile, someone's like, got their team editing together the newest ISIS beheading video to be released on a Tor server. I don't know. I like to see the human in even the most inhuman situations, and that seems like the most inhuman meeting of people.
Yeah.
But I'm sure once you get there, there's like some kind of gallows humor of what violence they had to witness and be like a party to.
I would love to have sat in on the meetings with the atomic bomb guys and like heard what they had to say about that.
Man.
Like, you're gonna do what to Japan?
Oh man.
Damn.
Yeah, and apparently they didn't even like launch it. Like there wasn't even a plan. Like someone pressed the button and it launched. Eisenhower actually had to stop the bombing. That was his only active role in it. He basically said they were going to drop nukes between this time and this time, and kind of fire at will, or like whatever your commander says is okay. Just drop that new, big boom boom.
What are you talking for?
When Hiroshima,
Oh,
Nagasaki. There was just a
shit.
window of time. He wasn't even present for like a meeting when they dropped it. It's just like, this is the schedule dropping. They dropped them, and then
He saw it on a piece of paper.
yeah, and then Eisenhower got like a message through his assistant. They're like, yeah, they just dropped the second one. It was like, the second one, Jesus, what kind of damage did it do? And they reported the damage. He's like, okay, can you stop them? Like,
Yeah.
stop, don't drop another one.
No more.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Just fucking fly.
It's like, hey, can you bring J. Robert Oppenheimer in here? Dude, what the fuck? You said this was gonna just be like a bigger bomb.
Dude.
This is a world ender, man. What
Dude.
the fuck are you doing?
Imagine
We got 100 million of these in a
conversation-
warehouse.
the conversation between Oppenheimer and like, was it Nixon who dropped? No,
No, it was Truman.
Truman. Sorry, way earlier than that.
Well,
So-
actually, the conversation originally would have been between FDR and Oppenheimer, because Truman, I don't think, was clued in on it until well after he took office.
Okay.
And yeah.
But he got briefed. So
Yeah.
imagine the conversation between Oppenheimer and it's Truman, as it's like if Oppenheimer was the dealer and he gave him like way too strong a shit. Like, dude, my girl almost OD'd on this, bro. But like, what the fuck? Like, I told you I got that fucking atomic fire, dude. You didn't even understand, bro. I was hitting you with that fucking nuclear shit.
Is this shit cut with meth?
Nah, it's cutting a particle in half. Actually, it's cutting an atom in half, really, and the first one to do it.
It's
So.
actually light.
Yeah,
it's light about half an
honestly,
atom, dude.
it's MC fucking smoke that shit, dog. It's kind of crazy that like we had that nuclear technology. I mean, yeah, it's the strongest that we have.
Yeah.
It's like so many worlds away more violent than the next most violent 3 weapons combined. You know what I mean? You
Dude,
could take
it's
all the
insane.
artillery in the world and it wouldn't have the.
The Moab, you could drop, like, how many Moabs to equal it? Have you ever played with the nuke simulator online?
Yeah, try not to.
World, yeah, dude. I remember our IR professor showed that to us in college. He was like, you can simulate what any kind of bomb that's ever been created will do to any place on Earth. And
I'd
it'll show
rather
you the
find out
casualties,
which-
the blast radius, and it's scary.
Yeah,
it's
I'd
terrifying.
rather just numb my brain and find out which house I belong in Harry Potter. So. I'm choosing-
Engages a lifetime Pottermore subscription.
Yeah, no, I don't even like the Harry Potter series, but it's anything's better than this. Speaking of toxic, TikTok sick.
TikToxic.
Yeah. TikTok has a new trend where young adults, Gen Zers and Gen Alphaites, look at that puppy. And looks like Jordan Peterson.
Just-
Her father is actually so
we do this on every
I know.
podcast.
Jordan Peterson.
I love
Jordan B. Nazi Peterson. No, there's this thing called shifting, which is rebranded lucid dreaming, basically. And that these young whippersnappers are convinced that if they set the intentions into their brain before they fall asleep, they can shift into Hogwarts, shift into this world, and participate in this.
Remote viewing.
Yeah,
Kind of.
and
Like-
that Harry Potter is real, and they exist in a parallel universe,
Jesus. Oh my God.
and that we can visit them through our dreams.
You mean imagination? Is that what they mean? Is
Yes, I think these kids who grew up looking at iPad screens as their first
Yeah.
primary source of light, they saw fucking Paw Patrol before they saw the night sky.
They saw Paw Patrol with the fact check banner along
Yeah.
the bottom. Dogs can't actually talk or be cops.
And dog police are the only good police. All the rest are bastards, funded by the cabal of pedophilic elites.
Google hashtag ACAB on your mom's iPad.
Oh, God. On Twitter Kids. Imagine the Kids Bop version of political Twitter. It just sends it out. Trump is a really orange bad man.
If you just go to the kids account on Pride Month, it's just redirects you to Mother Jones.
So anyways, as I was saying, I forgot what
Wait,
I
did
was
I say
saying.
you go to the kids account on Pride Month? Is that what I said?
Yeah.
I
No,
meant
on
to say if
Twitter.
you, on Netflix. I meant on Netflix. I fucked that up.
Dude, I don't know why you saying
I
Pride.
I
Just,
said 3 different punchlines
I don't
in
know,
one that I
really-
couldn't decide on in one statement.
that tobacco is hitting me.
Speaking of which,
Quite
is this
delayed.
section off camera?
Yeah, you're good. Well, I'm gonna check the camera.
Yeah.
Remember how Cliff said he'd be here in 10 minutes?
Yeah, I know.
No, it's not at all hidden. It's if you really like brace the wall, but I can just cut what this is.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
If I really brace the wall, you mean like this?
He said I don't give a shit.
Yeah, whatever.
Dude, right now, I'm probably gonna cut this part because it's fucking
You
weird.
probably should, honestly. Cause
It's whatever.
Yeah.
We'll wait. I'm just gonna keep it rolling.
I do still have a job, I guess.
Yeah, it is what it is. But I'm craving
You're cutting this.
being on a fucking in a palazzo, or being in like one of those like those. See, this is where it would having separate mics with it off switch
Yeah,
would be great.
literally.
So for the cough.
No, we want them to experience this whole conversation
Yeah.
with us.
But I
Breathe my air.
those apartments in Santorini, those like white terracotta apartments,
yes,
like
yeah.
overlooking. Dude, I looked them up. They were like $100 a night
Dude.
for like a one of those like clay like on
Yeah.
the hillside of Greece. And we should go to Greece.
I want to go to
We
Greece.
should go to Greece. Dude, you're so looking Greek right now. This exposed chest hair,
Dude.
lounging in shorts and a floral print shirt, sunglasses, olive skin, big old beard. I don't know, Greeks have beards? Oh, yeah.
Not like this.
No, but have you ever seen like the patriarchs
Yes.
of the Orthodox
Dude.
Church?
Yeah, all of my
You look like a patriarch.
all of my Greek goal or my beard goals are like to have that full like fucking like Greek like
Yeah.
Menelaus beard that comes
Hell
down to
yeah.
here. That's just a
Hell
big
yeah.
square that drops down. It's like I am Agamemnon.
Hell yeah,
Like-
dude. Oh, your sheesh just flipped upside down.
Nah, it's all right.
I just don't want that to
Yeah.
burn your ideas. To the
Who
cinder.
could does burn? I found my third notebook. I told you I think yesterday.
Dope.
Yeah.
I gotta start another notebook. I'm gonna start writing like essays on shit, cause that's what the world needs. More like extended white male opinions.
Shout out Bo Burnham.
Yeah, no shit. Oh, yeah, I just saw Bo Burnham special. It's
Yeah.
fucking fantastic. I really love that guy's resourcefulness and creativity, cause he's like a creator born of the internet for the internet,
Yeah.
with like touches of old world cinematic flair.
His new special, seriously, if you have not checked out Inside, watch it because it's fantastic. And not only like in terms of the funny is it fantastic, but he's got some commentary in there that's really good. Like I'm
Yeah.
kind of impressed with with that what was the name of it?
Welcome to the Internet.
Welcome to the Internet. It's a
Yeah, Welcome to
fantastic
the
song.
Internet was like a
That gave me
twisted,
chills.
circusy bop that was about the internet melting our brains into mush and forming us into hateful blobs.
The third shift in like time
Yeah.
or whatever gave me like spine chills. Like,
Yeah.
It was like, oh my god.
When they like to laugh.
Yeah. I was like,
I like
oh
the,
wow, this is too real. Like this is too real.
Yeah, I liked the chorus. Could I interest you in everything all of the time?
Yeah,
That's what it
anything and
is.
everything, all of the time.
A little
Step
bit
right up.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah,
And
dude, and it made me think. There was that old and I mentioned this to you, I think when we were watching it yesterday. There's that old like Christians sort of reacting to like thing, like the 3 claws on the monster logo.
Oh,
6,
yeah.
like that thing. But like it made me think of like their old thing with the Apple logo. Of like the bite out of the apple,
Yeah.
relating it to like the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil.
Yeah.
It's like anything and everything, all of the time.
Do you know where that
It's
Apple
like-
logo actually comes from?
So I read about it today, and I read that they were talking about the Turing thing, right?
Yeah, Alan Turing killed himself with a poison
Yeah.
apple.
It's not actually that though.
What?
This
Was
is-
that?
Yeah.
Hold
so,
on.
So, the article
Is that
I read,
the gay agenda?
The article I read interviewed the actual artist who worked on it with Steve Jobs,
Uh-huh.
and he said that had nothing to do with it. He said what it was
Damn.
it was just going to be an apple, but it looked like a cherry. So for perspective, they put a bite in it, so it would look like an apple with
Oh,
a bite taken
wow.
out of it. And then they said later they told them, oh, bite, like BYTE, that's funny. That's what you meant, right? And he was like, no, but I like that. And then there's a million
Yeah,
other.
and then it just justified its own existence.
Yeah, and then there's a million other stories that all kind of make a little bit of sense. You know what I mean? Like the cyanide thing, Isaac Newton, the apple falling on him.
Well,
was
one of
an-
the very original Apple logos was just a portrait of Isaac
Yes.
under the, which doesn't really have much to do with computers.
No, I think it's just the scientific admiration. But, you know, Steve
Cliff
Jobs
is an hour late. What the fuck?
Steve Jobs is all the more. I'm getting a work call. I'm gonna take this on the air. Oh no, I can't because I have to say the name of the fucking company that I work for.
I can cut this.
No.
If you need to take it.
No, I don't care. I don't care.
Well, then I'll cut this. So
Actually, I should probably
like a
yeah.
negligent employee.
Well, I'm recording a podcast and it's 4:57. They can fucking like, they're gonna be fine with it. Trust me. I told them I was recording a podcast.
Oh wow! I don't tell my people I work with anything about me when it comes to comedy.
They know I do. They've seen me do stand up before.
I think I'm gonna wait until I'm free and clear and quit the job. Like have my 2 weeks. And like, hey, you guys want to see why I'm moving to Austin? And then bring them to a show.
Check out my fucking shit.
Yeah, but then there's a 50-50 chance they heckle with like inside jokes, and then I can destroy them in front of a crowd of people
And
kill their spirit,
that'll be hilarious.
and then leave to follow my dreams as they make paper for the rest of their lives.
As
Making
I
paper's
burn
fun
paper,
as, dude. Making
yeah.
paper's fun as shit, man.
Dude,
We
for
make
real.
all different sorts of paper, but it's not paper as you'd think. It's industrial.
Oh, I thought you meant like make paper. Like,
No.
oh, I'm making paper.
I literally work at a
Yeah, no, I
fabricator
know. I just didn't think.
of medical grade and other industrial papers, which are technically not papers. They are wet laid, non-woven textiles.
Fabrics.
Yeah, because we make basically fabrics, but we make it out of paper. Make it out of paper. Fuck it, dude. What you want me to tell you? Fuck it, your boy. We make some cool ass paper. We make the shit that goes on the inside of your waistbands. It's like a fabric, that liner that goes on the inside.
Really?
Yeah.
This shit? It's in my underwear.
Yeah, no, not that.
No.
But more of like
this is just
when you have a
elastic.
waistband on a pant, it's
Oh, I know what you're talking
when
about.
when it's closed,
Mhm.
the structure inside is a paper that we make.
Interesting.
And we also make the backs to stitching. So like when you have patches and shit, we make what that lays out. And but yeah, non-woven, wet laid. Wet laid means it's laid wet on a surface.
Non-woven, laid wet in your pants.
Wet laid.
Wet laid.
I got wet laid the other day. I'm definitely
Woo!
cutting this
Nah.
part, dude.
You
Cliff
can
is
talk
an
about
hour
that,
late.
Cliff.
This man's on another level.
To
He
be
said,
fair, oh wow. He did tell us he was going to be here at 4:30.
No. We all agreed 4 o'clock, like a week in advance, and then he's like, I'm gonna be around 4. It's gonna be 4:30. I'll be there in 10 minutes. What is he, my drug dealer? Trying to dodge me? I don't have a drug dealer. All right, I don't think I've ever purchased drugs outside of a dispensary in a legal state. And yeah.
I got curbside at a dispensary once. Does that count?
With COVID restrictions, I'll allow it. Dude, remember we got kicked out of Ben and Jerry's yesterday?
Yeah, that was
That
wild.
was fun.
I stayed outside to smoke a cigarette because I knew.
Yeah, man. I don't
was
know,
so
man.
funny.
You know what I want? A Ben and Jerry's staffed by the other constituency of Vermont. I want them, not the Burlingtons.
All the gun-toting
Bro,
liquor.
why are you fucking calling me?
He's late.
Again. Hello, Cliff. Okay, well, we're still recording, so pop in anytime. The water's warm. It's alright, you are forgiven. 10 Hail Marys. See you soon, sweetie. Bye-bye. He said, I love you too, bro. He said, I know I'm running around with black people time right now. Oh, dude, how great is sunshine, you know?
It's fantastic. Vitamin D, a little bit
Dude.
of fucking energy.
I
for
think I have a little touch, and I don't want to be self-diagnosing Denise, but I think I got a touch of the seasonal affective shit, because I think that's just being human, right?
Yes, no, it is being.
You know what I mean? That's like saying like someone who's in solitary confinement is just having a life sentence of seasonal affective disorder. It's
I'll
like, 'cause we're
put it
not
this
giving them
way.
natural light.
If you wake up every day, aside from being sick, and you feel exactly the same way, you're a psychopath. Like there's something
Yeah.
actively wrong with you.
Yeah, but I just mean like being out in the sun just makes me so much enjoy life more. It just feels so much
You
more
hear that,
worth it.
well-adjusted people? You're fucked in the head.
Yeah.
If you're well-adjusted to this bullshit, like, I'm sorry, that's not okay.
No, it's celebrated compliance.
Exactly.
I don't like
Exactly.
people who like brag about complying about shit. Oh, I follow the rules. What are you
Yeah.
fucking hall monitor? Shut up.
Yeah, eat a dick. Like
Apparently, Austin is the highest risk city, like the city that takes the most risk, not the riskiest city to live in.
Yeah, obviously.
Which is interesting that if more people take risks, it's a little less risky to be around those group of people.
It's like where more people have guns, there's less gun crime.
Yeah, because it's mutually assured destruction.
Yep.
But also, like, when you're in a puritanical society, the crazy stick out more. And there's such a smaller path to walk to be deemed normal. So if you fall off the path, that's the majority of people. Because the minority can keep their shit together, or at least perform keeping their shit together. Whereas the majority are seen as not complying. Because if everyone following any kind of philosophy was complying, then no one would be complying, and how would you measure compliance?
Exactly. Like, do you want to be a lemming also? Like, is that what you aspire to, is to do what everybody else is doing? Like, guess what? Now you're in the background. Congrats.
It's kind of like if you imagine a cliff that funnels into a smaller and smaller path, but ultimately it still ends with a cliff.
It still ends with you walking right off that narrow
So
ledge
no matter
where
how
the sidewalk ends.
Yeah.
As Shel Silverstein would say.
You know what it actually reminds me of? Remember those arcade games at like movie theaters and pizzerias where it would be a block of lines at the bottom that's like 5 blocks wide, and then you press like your button and it stops it, and then there's another 5 block, and then when you get every level you get up, every couple of lines, now you only have 3 blocks to deal with. Or like when you stack it, all the other blocks fall off, and now you only have that much space to deal with. And I just found that so true with like mass hysteria, mass like ideological constraints.
Yeah.
You got to believe this way on these kind of days and this time, except for this and except after this. Like,
and if you don't follow the orthodoxy, then you must be quiet, because otherwise you're spreading disinformation, or your X or your Y or your Z or your, you know.
I just want people to be able to think critically.
Yeah. Hey, take information in, analyze it, think on it, and then say what you think, and don't be afraid. If you're wrong, be open to being corrected.
Yeah.
And but take information and analyze it. Like, don't just be spoon-fed things. Seriously. Like,
I'm sort of guilty of holding on to my beliefs a little too hard, though. Like, because I make just opinions beliefs. I feel like we're raised now to believe that your opinions
my truth
are pillars of just not even like your truth, but that if you have an opinion, it's the furthest extension of that opinion, that it's like your belief structure. Whereas you can't just have an opinion on something like, I don't like Harry Potter, but like that is like,
here are the 3 reasons why I don't like Harry Potter and why Harry Potter is bad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying you can't like it. I'm saying I just dislike it, and you don't have to. I don't need to justify it to you in terms of that. I like preference, and that, you know what I think why it is? I think it's because preference has become such a guiding factor in how we do everything. And that's because when you have anything and everything, when you can order whatever you want all the time, when you can look at whatever you want all the time, what you like becomes significantly important. And because there's no scarcity. So,
my personality is the color of my iPhone.
So now, exactly. So now you are tasked with analyzing all of these what otherwise would just be, mundane, like preference, binary, snap of the moment. Oh, I like these sunglasses. I'm going to buy these.
Yeah.
And you have to judge it off of okay. So how is this affecting how people see me? How is this affecting what I like the most? What do I want? And you have to sort of like, and you have to put together all of these trappings of fucking like just whatever your ideal form of you is, and it's stupid because your preference honestly doesn't matter that much. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you have chicken or fish at the fucking wedding. Either way, it's probably going to be good as long as they go to a good place.
It doesn't matter which race of fleshlight I buy, because it all feels amazing.
Yeah, as long as you get the ribbed contoured inside, it's fantastic.
Exactly. The low price of $69.99. Oh, is that why it's $70?
Yeah.
That's why it's $70, because I think they can say $69.99.
Of course it is.
Why is anything on the internet 99¢? Like, why do we still carry that bullshit over?
Because it's an old marketing tactic.
I know, but it's just like, that's like having an envelope as your email icon. It's like, it's just nesting us to the old world to remind us of where it came from. But in reality, the envelope, there's no envelope in an email. Like, you just send it, it's a file. It's its own, it is its own envelope. Like,
because $49.99 sounds better than $50.
I guess.
You know what I mean? Like, if that costs $50, so it's $49.99.
Small justification.
But in your head, in that spur of the moment, I'm walking down in Walmart and I'm looking at the prices. $250 versus $249 feels very different.
I know, and $249. The people who feel comforted, the people who feel comforted by $249, are also the people who turn into collaborators during during Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
Those are people who justify a lot. But it's small. It's like if you give a mouse a
just
cookie.
saving a penny.
I think there's degrees to the shit because you can like accept the first tier of bullshit that the world offers you, and then you might take that as a package deal and buy the second tier bullshit. But depending on what tier you stop at, I don't know. You don't have to like. But then you can have mixed things. You could like, be really outspoken about the 249, but then like tweet it from your iPhone that's made by child slaves.
Yeah.
You can't get around that one. That was tough.
Yeah.
You can buy used
you
phones.
can drop out.
Yeah, you can stop and say, this is enough upgrades. I don't need to purchase and push forward this techno giant any farther. Like, how many real advances has the iPhone made in the last 5 years?
It's not, for me, it's not just the iPhone. I talked to Miles about this the other day, and I was like, for putting out content, you know how I'm very hesitant to go on like social media and stuff in general, like especially posts. Like if you look at my Instagram, there's not a single post on there. And it's because like I feel weird about creating because I had to stop myself from scrolling through Facebook all the time. Like that was like my thing, and I haven't been on social media really since. And like I feel weird about just creating catchy, eye-popping content for people to waste time and not be with their families and their friends and doing the things that they love doing and constructing their own worlds. I feel weird building my own world on top of taking advantage of other people's weakness. Because that's what it is. It's taking advantage of whatever's driving you to seek connection in that device, and it's usurping. It's basically like it's taking advantage of you. Like you're hanging over the ledge, and I'm saying, hey, like, come check out my content. Like, share my stuff. Come on. Like you don't need to talk to your family. Just keep scrolling through Instagram. Keep scrolling through TikTok. Keep scrolling through Facebook. I'm contributing to that.
And this concludes the clip that I just put on Instagram. Thank you for checking out our channel. Go to the link in my bio to see this new episode of our podcast, where we have great fun with friends.
That is kind of a perfect clip. What's up?
Cliff just pulled up.
What's up, Cliff?
Sorry, I'm late. I said 4, me by like 5. Oh, that's a nice camera.
Thank you. Tell it to her face. Please take a seat. Take a seat in your Nation of Islam throne.